If you genuinely know that you're getting what you want, then anything in between or circumstances or something popping up wouldn't really get an emotional reaction out of you or wouldn't make you feel like whatever you're doing isn't working. I literally filmed this video yesterday, but the audio was awful and I'm about to run out to the airport, so I figured I would film this again for you guys. I wanted to say thank you for all the sweet feedback, the sweet comments. I read every single one of them. Living in the end simply just means you're assuming the state of already having your manifestation. And this is truly how simple it is. If you genuinely know that you're getting what you want, then anything in between or circumstances or something popping up wouldn't really get an emotional reaction out of you or wouldn't make you feel like whatever you're doing isn't working. You won't really internalize things as much. You won't question why things are happening. You almost see everything as kind of helping you along the way. And I want to also say too, if you're really struggling right now, if circumstances are really pressing, your main focus should be on yourself. Your main focus should be your self-concept beliefs, because once you get those beliefs in alignment, everything else starts to fall into place, and manifestation and creating the life that you want to live or manifesting whatever it is you might want to experience feels so much easier because you're grounded in who you are. You also stop looking outside of you for validation. You'll see living in the end becomes just a normal state of being. Everything is a state. So when people say everything is a state, if you're constantly looking for validation outside of you to get what you want, you're not being the person that has it. So watching content all day long, not living in the end. Feeling like you need to try harder in order to get something, not living in the end. Stalking somebody on Instagram, not living in the end. What else? Doubting yourself, not living in the end. Going back and forth in your mind, not living in the end. Manifestation truly is a decision that requires you to get on the level of your manifestation. So your manifestation's here, it's at a level state of being. When you are in states of looking for validation or constantly feeling the need to force things into being, make things happen, but you're bringing your state of being down. When you're looking outside of you now, when you start doing nervous system regulation, when you're prioritizing your state of being, when you're prioritizing your mental health, when you are creating good routines for your day, you start to become level with what you're wanting to experience. This is something that I've talked about in a lot of my videos. Nervous system regulation is really going to help shake up your state of being if you are really struggling or if you just need an extra boost of energy. A lot of my clients that have taken on my advice, and I've seen in client sessions that they are actually receiving manifestations during their breathwork sessions, and this is actually something that I have experienced as well. So breathwork is very beneficial, especially if you are in a lower state of being, or just kind of questioning manifestation. How does one stay in the wish fulfilled? You need to see from your mind, not from your eyes. And this is the best way to explain how the adjustment you're making within yourself really does matter. When you're seeing from your mind and not from your eyes, your 3D world doesn't really have an emotional hold over you anymore, and you stop looking outside of you for the validation. You become the validation. Living in the end means you've already decided that your manifestation is done. Your desired reality is here now. It's not arriving one day. It's not happening one day. It's already happened. You already have it. You can't have what you don't already have. And that doesn't mean physically. I'm talking energetically. What vibration are you most dominantly in? And this is why nervous system regulation helps you shake up your vibration. 3D is really just catching up to your decision. Your reality is old levels of consciousness that you've been dominantly assuming. And until you actually realize and recognize that you are in full control of your life, you're going to continue to look outside of you and ask questions like, where is it? When is it happening? Why is it taking so long? When you're asking these questions, you're not stable yet. Living in the end isn't just positive thinking. It's not scripting, it's not forcing affirmations, it's not watching content all day long. It's identity level embodiment. You become the version of you that already has it. Secondly, what does this look like in your day-to-day? You're no longer checking for evidence. So you're no longer going to be looking out into your experience and saying, where is it? And mindset is kind of like a muscle. You're going to need to really, like going to the gym, building new muscles. You have to go in daily, create a routine. Once you start seeing more evidence of what you're actually applying, you're going to feel more confident in what you're creating. You're no longer triggered by circumstances. So by the title of this video, you don't really care about what's happening because you're already in your end state. So it has to be reflected back to you. You don't need signs. You don't need to go to another psychic or watch another tarot card video to see if it's coming in. You're not desperate for validation because you are the validation, and you're not trying to manipulate or force an outcome. This is a big one. When you feel yourself wanting to force things into being, you're not holding the inner knowing. And the inner knowing is just as simple as deciding it's done, moving on with your day, creating a great routine. You're going to be holding the knowing no matter what shows up in front of you. And this is the most important part to living in the end. When you can stay in this state and not be shaken up by circumstances, not be shaken up by what's going on around you, you're really gonna see how easy it is to create change, create solutions, and create your desired reality. For me, for example, I'm gonna use myself. When I was coming on YouTube, I talked about this in a few of my other videos, but I had like 22 subscribers. And I hold the inner knowing that I have 100,000. Do I see that in my 3D reality yet? No. But does that mean that I don't already have it? No. I'm already energetically aligned to what I'm creating, so it has to be my experience. My 3D reality is just reflecting what I'm most dominantly assuming. Once you've actually made this internal shift, you start to move different. You start to trust more. You start to not give in to thinking that it's taking a long time. You begin to enjoy your life and to enjoy the unfolding of whatever it is you're creating. This is something that comes with practice. Like I said, you're going to need to create a structure and routine for your day. I'm going to give you a quick example. When you are watching a movie, and this is how you need to view your manifestation. When you're watching a movie and you've already seen it before, the ending, you're not going to really be worried about what's going on in between. You're not going to be worried about the events or the circumstances in the movie. You're already knowing how it's going to end. This is how you need to view your manifestation. Not being triggered by circumstances, not really caring what anybody else has to say or think, focusing on yourself, you being the movie, and really enjoying the unfolding. Just because something isn't unfolding in the way that you think it is, doesn't mean it's not happening. There's a million different ways for things to come into your life. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you, the amount of times I've manifested something, I couldn't have ever imagined it unfolding in that way. And when you get too caught up in the how and micromanaging every little detail about how it has to come into your life, you're making it more difficult on yourself. So decide what you want, hold the knowing, regulate your nervous system. You don't need to be watching content all day long. You don't need another technique. You need to actually embody and become the person that has it. Manifestation really just is who you're being. So what are you most dominantly assuming during the day? Are you sitting at your computer watching content all day long? Or are you creating good routines? Are you assuming the best? Are you allowing yourself to enjoy the unfolding? The old version of you is addicted to reassurance. It's addicted to wanting to know all the little minute details. It's addicted to validation outside of you. But this elevated version of you, they don't need reassurance because their decision is final. You're not gonna feel good 24/7. It's about how you view it and how you perceive things. Tests might come. Silence, delays, seeing the opposite show up in your reality. But when that happens, you won't spiral because you're gonna be so confident in what you're creating. You anchor yourself in your beliefs and you say, this old reality is just playing out. You don't chase what's already yours. Your job is to stabilize your state of being, and the outcome is gonna be inevitable. So you'll start to self-regulate and choose your identity. Here's what I want you to practice after watching this video. Decide it's done. So whatever it is you're manifesting, it's done. You already have it. Embody that version of you now. Stabilize your state of being when old patterns pop up. So when you feel yourself wanting to check, when you feel yourself wanting to force, when you start questioning or getting anxious or doubtful, stepping in with nervous system regulation is really going to help you. And let the 3D catch up to your most dominant state of being. Let God, the universe, source, work. You're no longer going to be waiting. You're no longer going to be checking. You're actually going to be living and enjoying your life. And then you'll be in the state to be able to receive. If you can master this one thing, staying in the wish fulfilled, your manifestations will start moving a lot faster because you're no longer chasing. You're no longer in the needy energy. You're aligning to what you want to experience. Ask yourself, would this version of me that already has my manifestation be doing that? When you can step in with those little micro decisions, you're going to really see how genuinely easy it is to create whatever it is you're wanting to experience. And living in the end really is just not giving a about the middle, truly. I did want to say I do offer coaching. I've been asked quite a few times in my inbox, and everything I'm putting out here is for free, so you don't really need to sit down one-on-one with me. But if that is something you're interested in, I'm placing all of the information down below. Feel free to email me and we can sit one-on-one, and feel free to reach out to me. What are you deciding that's done today? Are you actually being the version of yourself that already has it? So think about that. I gotta catch my flight. I love you guys, and always remember to respect yourself, love yourself, honor yourself, and you deserve the best because you said so. Bye.